How are you all enjoying Psalm 23? It is hard to believe we are as far along as we are. We are already at Wednesday, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of extra feedback on our topic today. We're talking about how Christ leads us by waters of rest. And so I told you that I had read some extra material on sheep because I really knew nothing about them. And I just came up with some really, really interesting things. So you may or may not know that sheep thrive in dry, like arid regions of the world. However, they have to have some sort of water. They can actually go months without having a source of water, like a pond or a stream, but they have to have some type of water. And there are three main ways they get water. It could be from a pool or a stream. It could be from like a hewn out cistern, and it also could come from the dew. Most of it comes from the dew that is on the ground in the morning. So they will usually rise before dawn, and they will partake of the dew that is on the grass there. And they can also do this like in the moonlight after dusk. They can just eat the grass and just graze on that dew. It kind of reminds me of manna, when God provided manna for the children of Israel every day. And this is just such a poignant picture, isn't it, of our spiritual lives, that it seems like the most calm and collected people in our lives are the people who wake up early and spend time with Christ. It doesn't mean you have to do this early. It also says that they do this at night, through the moonlight. So it doesn't really matter when you do it, but you have to take time to feed on God's faithfulness, because if you don't, you're going to be thirsty, you're going to be seeking, and you're not going to feel satisfied. But as the good shepherd of our souls, he knows exactly where to take us to get the water. Oftentimes we will try to get it ourselves, won't we? We'll search for all different manner of places that we can go to be filled, whether that is entertainment or our career, or maybe we're looking for a man, or if I just had this house. We're looking for satisfaction, fulfillment everywhere, but really the only thing that's going to satisfy is our shepherd. And just as I look into the culture of sheep and the shepherd, really the only way that the sheep are going to be satisfied is if the shepherd is taking time to make sure that there are sources of water available. It all hinges on him, because here's what will happen. The shepherd will be taking the sheep on a little path, leading them to a really nice stream or a spring. And the shepherd, or the sheep, and the little ewe lambs, and they will be going off to the side, veering off the path to drink from these little tiny muddy puddles of water that are kind of contaminated and maybe have former sheep particles in it, but they think that's as good as it gets. And how many times in my own life I can tell you that I have thought, this right here is as good as it gets. And the shepherd is saying, come on, I have something so much better for you if you'll just be patient. If you'll just keep walking a few more steps, I have this amazing spring for you to drink from. So just a little encouragement for those of you who feel like you are just dying to satisfy your thirst somewhere. Let him lead you to where you need to be, because that is the place where you will find the most satisfaction. He also talks about, in the book that I told you that I'm reading, A Shepherd's Look of Psalm 23 by Philip Keller. He talks about when he was in Africa, he would see the shepherds in deep cisterns. You could almost not see them from the surface. They were almost like these little caves. They were hand dug into like limestone and that type of thing, and they would be in there just like bailing the water so that the sheep could get them. And the sheep had to go down this very, very narrow path into kind of a dark little place, but the shepherd was providing. And if they had even gone down into that dark place, they wouldn't have been able to have any water had the shepherd not been down there bailing the water for the sheep. And the sheep sometimes took a little bit of prodding to get them to go down there, because it was dark, it was uncomfortable, it was a little scary. And so just another reminder to us that there will be times when we won't want to follow where the Lord leads us, and it will seem scary and overpowering, but the shepherd is there before us, and he is there providing for us, and we can trust that his plans for us are good. There's just so much good, rich stuff in here. I loved in here where Kristen includes the quote by Augustine of Hippo, "Thou hast made us for thyself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it finds its rest in thee." I think that is beautiful. This is not just the kind of rest where we get a good night's sleep, like Kristen says in the devotional, but it is. Jesus has walked this road before us, and no matter how much turmoil our soul feels like it wants to be in, no matter how much our emotions or our feelings are screaming that we're not okay with this, Jesus is there providing sweet peace that passes understanding if we just let him lead us to waters of rest. So hope that has been encouraging, giving you a little insight into this part of our chapter, and I hope that you're enjoying Psalm 23 as much as I am. Happy Wednesday.